All right, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Road to the Show on MLB The Show 18. Still working our way through. I didn't even see what month it was. I think we're still in May, technically. That's fine. Whoops. Trying not to hit my microphone too much. That's right. Last time I played this, I lost quite a bit of my batting average, so let's hope that I get to change that this time around. Because I think I was at like a 380, 390, and then dropped to a 317, which is still good, but far cry from where I was. So I'm going to try to keep it... I'm going to try to keep it to just contact swings at this point until I can build my stats up a little bit.
He got on top of one and was a ground out victim last time.
And at least try to hit it in as well. I need to give him like a goofy stance. I feel like that's something I'll need to do at some point. There you go.
And that's a base hit, 1 for 2 in his first couple of plate appearances. Some success with 2 away, and the top of the 4th is still alive.
Nice piece of hitting right
there. I have a feeling this is how boring my guy's going to be, though. He's just big on getting contact swings and then leaving, and then just getting on base.
On its way. Runners off for second in there. Now the throw.
Yeah.
And he is out at second. Ready for another chance. Big Daddy Dirtbag. He'll be tasked with starting things as we begin the 7th.
This thing's far from over, even though we're moving into the back end of this game. Only down by 1. All they need to do is
I thought for a second maybe he wouldn't have had it. Then again, I think it still would have consisted of an error. So.
Digging in once again, Big Daddy Dirtbag. He'll lead things off here in this
almost stealing. Not quite stealing. Not quite showing off my skill level. That's the one thing that's a little iffy. I guess not iffy, but just one of those things that irks me. Is that it's like almost impossible to actually upgrade your speed in this game. Like, your speed is pretty well locked. I haven't really seen hardly any of the... After enough training things, I haven't really seen enough training things that upgrade that speed. What the hell happened? I didn't even get a chance for whoever was next. Okay.
3-2 the finish in tonight's game.
Sure. By the way, I'm starting to see what's very much like a bummer to major league contracts, where it's like, you have to have, you're basically tied to a team until they either release you or you get up to the majors. And then when you finally get up to the majors, you have to get 6 years in before you could sign with another team. 3 years you can do arbitration to actually try to get the amount that you're worth. I think that's a really dumb thing, but I guess it kind of keeps people on a certain team unless they get traded to kind of work within the system.
When you get in these series like this, when one run means so much, you like to be able to beat the team.
There we go. All right. Yeah, this contact thing is working out. I'll take that and some RBIs over what I was doing last time. I don't need home runs right now. The home runs can come later.
The hit meeting resonated with these guys. Scored a ton yesterday and picked up right where they left off.
And he has to dive, but he's back in easily. Runners are at first and third, 1 away.
Oh, yeah, Jack, I know you were mentioning yesterday about how I was talking about, like, he's like, oh, man, you're just talking about some normie shit that you were doing at oh, okay, never mind. You're getting water real quick. But he was talking about doing normie shit at Anime in Iowa. And it's like, well, sort of and not sort of.
What you got?
Taking a look at this lineup, they're going to have to work the count. That's the key to success right here. They have to find a way to drive this guy's pitch count up and get into that bullpen as quick as possible.
There's a swing and a high drive into left center field.
Oh my goodness. Oh, he's there. No, he's not. Wait, oh, it's off the wall. Shit. Okay. Get out of the way. Fucking normie.
3-0 game.
You always want to spot your
I feel like there was nothing normie
so he has a little bit of wiggle
about
room,
my
but
experience
that
there.
They're up 3-0 and absolutely cruising.
Victor Robles digging in now, and he's a guy looking to break out in a big way. Hasn't been getting the results.
I will say though, it is a far, far cry from where it was last year, because it is a much, much bigger venue than it was. Otaku Sheep and Normie Clothing. I feel like I talk about it enough here, but I feel like if you skip around my videos, it could take you a while to get to that point where you're like, oh yeah, he does this stuff. Yeah, it's getting caught. It's not getting caught. It dropped. Holy shit. What are we like?
Boy, this guy's been
We're doing pretty damn good now. This only swing contact swing seems to be doing pretty good. I like it.
Yeah, don't overthink it. When you're flowing
It's helpful.
like he is right now, he's hot as a pistol. Everything.
But yeah, you were talking about like normie things. You're like, oh yeah, you're fucking drinking and socializing with people. I'm like, yeah, but I don't think normal people go on 3.5-hour discussions about like the extended universe of Star Wars and the intricacies of Evangelion. I'm just throwing that out there. I feel like normal people don't get into deep discussions about the characters of Evangelion while drinking scotch and whiskey and vodka. Speaking of, thanks to Bot. It only took him 13 minutes today. That's pretty good.
Already 2 for 2. He'll look to add on right here.
Normal people don't dig up corpses like they like the expanded universe. To be fair, it's still a pretty fresh corpse. It wasn't dead that long ago.
And the big inning is avoided as this side is retired. So it's 2 runs on 3 hits. No errors. And a couple.
It's also a little bit louder than I want it to be. Let's do yeah, we'll do about there. That's fine. Geeky normie until you thanks to Hydrated Bot until you mentioned Evangelion. Praise be to the Stay Hydrated Bot.
Lots of baseball left in this one as we're still early on, but you don't want to fall too far behind. They're already down by a bundle.
And then we discussed our shopping habits at the marketplace, where I lamented wanting to get the ultimate pack of both seasons of The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, as well as the movie The Disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya, and looked to try to talk the guy who was selling them both down. But I waited too long and went to other booths, and the movie was gone by the time I got there. What was necessary for me to be standing there for that? Oh, that's what it is. I accidentally hit watch game.
Riding in once again, Richard MacArthur. He drew a
Before
walk his
season
first
period,
time up.
entire PO fleet between boy.
Attempt here. Dirtbag comes up.
Oh, and then discuss the because we ended up having some friends of the guys whose room it was show up, and they just happened to be like sort of longtime staff members. Like a couple of them were security people, so they had a whole bunch of stories about the sort of things they've had to deal with generally late at night, which usually involve underage drinking and alcohol poisoning. Because usually that's what you're just gonna drink. That's the majority of it.
for another shot now. Tino Velasco. He
But yeah,
flew out in his
much
last
bigger
at-bat.
venue, because there was a discussion about like, oh yeah, you know, people seem to remark that it seemed a lot emptier, and it's like, no, it's just not filled to the gills. Because where they had Anime Iowa the previous years, it was getting packed. Like, if you wanted to sit and rest during the day, like, it didn't really matter because the halls were already lined with people. If they were not, like, sitting down along the walls, they were, like, walking. It was basically like walking in a giant I probably should have thrown to second or home. Second probably would have been preferred, but it's all right. Tell us about your brony. Oh, what? Wait. What the fuck did I do? Panel will be removed from the game. Will be shelved for quite. Wait, what? How the fuck did this happen? How did I break my arm throwing a baseball? Are you shitting me? Am I about to have some fucking Tommy Johns on my goddamn arm? How did I throw out my arm throwing a ball from third to first? Are you shitting me right now? Just when I was really starting to get I was really starting to get moving again. Like, this is okay. This is doing great. We're doing well. Team is happy though. Oh my god. Dude, this shit happened to me on my it was right around this time too. Let me see. Yeah, Mr. Reliable, my fucking ass. This shit happened to me too. Bruised arm. Okay. It's a minor injury, so I won't be placed on the disabled list. Because this shit happened to me when I was playing offline. Same year. It was the same year, except it was up here, I think. Because I went through the AAA, and then I started a new season, and I got to about May 8th or 9th, and I snapped my ankle on a slide into second, and I was out for the rest of the season. So, a bruised arm is, not that bad. Let's keep doing that contact cap. It's so weird to see it as far down as it is because that's mostly what I've been doing. Scout coming to take a look at sometime. Yeah, that's cool. Because it's weird to see it because I've usually trained the shit out of it on my offline road to the show. It's at like a 98 now. So I'm pretty much almost to my cap. Well, that could have gone so much worse than it actually did. So I'll say, okay, that's cool. This is going to go home. Oh. Just throw it home to make sure that he doesn't move. I just realized I don't do a lot of these actual training drills. I don't do a lot of these drills. What? See, that's why. I don't know how I managed an error. I guess the best I can hope for here is a double play. Wait, how did he not throw to... What happened? Catch not made, but he didn't run. I don't even get that. Okay, 0 outs, runners on second and third, catch not made, but it was practically a ground ball. So I threw it to second, and then he didn't actually throw it to second. No one ran. There should have been a nice little force out there. That's bonkers. All right. I hate these. I hate these. I'm just gonna start doing this. I'm just gonna start playing games. That's what I'm really gonna. I don't know what the hell just popped up. Oh well. All right. Tiger Scout. Tell me about this Payne kid. 3 for 4 today, right? Skipper. Yeah, he has his moments, but he's made of glass. May get his first hit in his first major league at bat, but he also might break his arm doing so. I'm glad it was just a bruised arm because I was about to freak out thinking that I somehow broke my arm throwing a ball.
This guy keeps his team in the ball game. He's won 2 of his last 3 starts, so he's been throwing the ball really well. And one of the keys for this guy is getting early outs.
I don't know how I missed that one.
He can do that.
I guess it was like a just barely. Yeah, okay. I mean, I'll take it. I guess I pull a little more towards center because the shortstop could have been right there for it. Or the third baseman, because I think that's usually where I sit for third. Hey, Daredevil, what's up? Just has a nasty break on that throw. Oh, shit! Oh! Nope, no, you dummy. Oh, god damn it. I started running, but he didn't get up in time. And then I started telling him to go back before he even started running, but I guess it's only doing so many, That's such a dumb thing, too. That just hit him in the balls. He didn't even react. That was just, I don't even get it. Scout of the game, by the way. That's another good point. Drop.
Now in the box, Big Daddy Dirtbag. He's 1 for 2 in the ball game. First pitch on its way. Now a ball softly.
Oh, damn it. Well, now you start getting out of the way of that stuff. Why didn't you get out of the way of that errant throw? I might have actually been able to run to second. Well, he's catching that one. Got done streaming for a few hours, working on affiliate status as best as possible. Well, best of luck on that, man.
First pitch coming. Here it is. Hit on the ground down the first baseline.
Oh, balls. This is going to be one of those games, isn't it? Do I get one more shot at this to try to do something cool? Oh, buddy. All right, let's see what I can do. I'm going to hit it down, but I'm going to try to, like, hit it a little bit more powerful. Which is probably going to go right to one of the basemen and then cause a double play for the end of the game. That's what I'm thinking. I just got to be really careful about what I'm swinging at here. I feel like I can make this happen, but
you know, Matty, I know he's in the final year of his contract, but he's playing to expectations.
Or I'm just gonna pop out. That's cool too. Back at the warning tracks.
Make that salary push as he heads towards free agency again.
Hey, it took him an extra frame to do it, but hey,
it was close. It was close though. 1 for 5. Yay! All of that was just, I don't even know what to say.
Time for baseball of the AAA variety as the show
26 and 31.
From the International League. Tonight, the second of 3 to start the week.
When I did it offline, the only chance that our team ever had of actually making the playoffs was when I was there. There was actually a point where we were leading the league, and then when my guy got injured, I was like, all right, all you have to do is not fuck up for 2 months, and we can still make the playoffs. And then they missed it by like a game.
We'll see if he can do that in this one here today.
And that's cut on and missed 0-1. Well, you take a look at our
I would have came back right at the beginning of the playoffs too.
Looking to make it 2 in a row as they were winners last time.
Ah, well.
Hey, they come into game 2 of this series riding high. A huge 1-run victory yesterday.
I did do sort of a normie thing though at Anime Iowa, because I didn't get shit for sleep, and I probably fell asleep at like 4 a.m. like that Friday night. I woke up at like maybe 8 that Saturday morning, which sucked, but I think it's mostly just due to the fact that I'm just not big on the beds, even though it's a highly expensive. Jesus, was it an expensive room? Like, it was 3 of us in there, and it still cost me well over $100 just for 2 nights. So it was probably something like, it was probably close to $200 a night.
You'll see that often early in the game where a pitcher's trying to find
Maybe it was like 150, something like that.
Off-speed pitches. We'll have to keep an eye on him, see if he's able to settle down as this game moves on.
But yeah, I woke up at like 8 a.m. and the sun was shining and it was morning time, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then, I don't know, I got a wild hair up my ass and actually walked downtown to the farmer's market because I was like, I'm going to get me some breakfast, but I don't want to get like some sort of breakfast or whatnot by the, because I don't think they have like a continental breakfast or anything at the Hilton. I didn't check, but yeah, I was making an assumption that it probably wasn't a thing. At least anything I could find easily. So I was like, oh, it's a Saturday morning. I'm going to walk down to the farmer's market. And I did. Because I figured it was only about 3 blocks. Then I got 3 blocks down, and I realized it was actually about 6, but I was too far into walking at that point. And I was like, well, I guess I might as well go the rest of the way. 0 for 3. Why are we I am such a streaky batter. I would really like to make this work. There you go. I think he can. Yay! Okay, he's not going. All right, that's helpful. Very helpful. So yeah, I got like a breakfast burrito, freshly made from some farm kids, because they have like this big tent that this I don't know what it is, maybe like a club or something. Maybe like a farmer's club or something of teenagers, and they just cook breakfast food for people, and it's probably one of the most popular ones. And it used to be run by a family, but now it's just like other kids and whatnot, whatever. I mean, it's basic food. It's just like, hey, we made eggs and sausage and bacon and vegetables, and just like, yeah, here you go. Here's like $6. Just throw it in a bowl. Perfect. The more Iowa it sounds. Oh, yeah. You want to hear something truly Iowan? There was this mom and pop stall, and their specialty, the only thing they sold, was stuffed dill pickles. These giant dill pickles that were stuffed with whatever. You know, they had different flavors. They had like a barbecue flavor. They had, I think they had a Mexican flavor. They had a pulled pork one where it's literally like, this is, by the way, when they say stuffed pickle, it's like a dill pickle cut in half, kind of split in half, and then just has stuff jammed in it. So it's like barbecue pulled pork jammed into a pickle. And I got the chicken salad one, and I wasn't sure what to think of it, but it was actually delicious. Like, if you enjoy a good pickle, like if you imagine a chicken salad sandwich with a pickle, it's like that, but without the bread. It was actually delicious.
You've been watching MLB The Show. For more, click over to theshownation.com.
I was kind of skeptical, but I was like, you know what? I want to see this. And there's probably at least a good like 3 or 4. I really should have gotten it, but I didn't want too greasy of food with how much walking I knew I was going to do on Saturday. So I was like, what's sounding more Iowa? Wait, what's sounding more like Iowa? I had to go get some food myself. Going to the farmer's market and having some local farm kids cooking breakfast for people at the farmer's market downtown, and then going to a booth and buying a mom and pop booth and buying a chicken salad stuffed pickle. It was actually delicious. And they had about 3 or 4 stalls of I don't know if they were Vietnamese or not. But they were making like egg rolls, crab ragoon, stuff like that. I know it's like technically Chinese food, but it can also just, you know, you never know. But yeah, they were making like fresh egg rolls and crab ragoons and stuff in different stalls.
Into the box bats now.
Yeah, that's how I want for you. How am I doing right now? 0 for 2. It'd be really nice if I could. Am I just going to hover around like 317 for a while until I get my stats up? Is that what's going to happen here? Oh, come on.
And that's the first out.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll go to some of the stalls because they have a bunch of stalls with baked goods, like a lot of bakery stuff. So if you want to eat like a cinnamon roll that's like the size of your head, you can find it there. This has been really stupid. I just went like hitless. Did I just go 0 for 4? Off of stuff that I didn't think was that bad, but I'm pretty sure the scouts are still here to see that. That's what it is. This game hates me enough to where I can't do well when the scouts might be watching. But after that, it's like, eh. 0 for 4. Slugging aren't where they need to be. Power and plate discipline. Okay, cool. That power isn't really going to do much of anything because I don't know if I want to use the power swing button. It's just not going to be the greatest. You know what? My contact needs to go up more than anything. And I know I'm kind of potentially putting myself in a corner here, constantly working on my my contact, but you never know. Yeah, some of the panels were interesting. I talked about the New Japan panel. I found out they had like what is it? They call it the cosplay masquerade. Because it's kind of a big thing there at Anime Iowa as much as it is Anime Nebrascon. Nebrascon does a little bit bigger, but Anime Iowa does a thing called the Masquerade. It's like a cosplay contest. And it was very interesting because generally, like the thing is that generally it's a lot of skits and stuff. But there weren't a ton of skits sometimes. It was just people kind of showing off their outfits. And that was about it. And I know, like, one of the women who was a staff member later on in the night when I was, they don't want me chasing after it. Okay. She was talking about the lack of skits that they do now. It's like they just kind of sat there and showed off their stuff. They don't really do anything that's talented anymore. She's like, we should just, instead of calling a masquerade, we should just call it a skitscarade. So that way they can't complain if we want more skits. I shouldn't have swung, by the way. I should have just let it go and let him try to steal second. That was my dumb. There you go. Now he can safely get to second.
And that runner will go no further than second as there are two aboard now. Stepping up to the plate, Tino Velasco. He flew out in his last at-bat.
Leave it up to Iowans to mess that thing up as well. Yeah. I bought these. I bought a couple things there because I was like, oh yeah, my mom's birthday is officially tomorrow now. Probably, you know, be the good son and take her out to dinner. That shouldn't be too bad. I should have enough money for that. I don't think I spent too much on the... Yep, that was a good idea to go back. I don't think I spent too much money at Anime Iowa. Then again, I think coming up, Friday, I'm going to have like almost $130 taken out of my account for something I pre-ordered. So, we'll see. I think we're fine. I paid for most of my bills already. And my first car payment on my new car isn't until
Wow, that's
next
awfully
month,
impressive right there.
technically.
The pitch before was really close. Called the ball. What does he do? He comes back with a
Don't try
better
to
pitch
throw me
and
out.
gets
I'm
the
not
punch
paying
out.
too much attention right now.
Riding in once again, John Borman. He drew a
I'm trying to
walk
log
his
into
first
my
time
bank
up.
account so I can be horrified at the number I see. Oh, that's not bad. Get her the fucking dollar menu while blasting Anna music in her.
Hit on
No!
the ground toward the
Yeah.
left. Throw on the second for the force to the
I love
side
the
for Johnson. 3 hits,
movement
no
that he
errors.
had. That was a nice little touch.
Ready once again, Big Daddy Dirtbag. He singled his last time up.
I think like I don't think it'd cost too much.
Nothing pitch. Smoked
I think I got that little. I think I kind of got that. I don't know if it's genetic, but she and I are both kind of on the same wavelength of like we don't really care. We aren't hard to please.
Digging in once again, Tino Velasco.
You know,
Switch hitter will take
go
a
someplace it's maybe like $15-20 a person. Just a sit down place. You can get like an appetizer and something nice. There's actually a place probably about 10 minutes away that does like fresh Mediterranean food that we go to on a regular basis. It's actually really good. I love the Mediterranean food. My body hates it because it's like fresh, wholesome food and not the normal schlock that I tend to put in my body.
But the throw will beat him at first.
There we
so
go.
the bunt for hit attempt is snuffed out.
Well, you know, he had a
So
good
it's like,
idea
oh
right there.
man,
He
like pita bread
right
and
back. That's not
I
gonna
forget
work
what
out for him
the
this time. That's a nice
dip
play to
is, but
react
it's
and
really
they take
nice
care of
dip.
it first.
You can get like some fresh made like
Ready for another shot now.
you know, steak or chicken or something, and it's really nice.
With an RBI single in his last
And then
at-bat.
it's like, okay, mom, that's great. Let's go. I gotta go to the bathroom.
He's got a piece of the fastball that time as it's chopped foul at the plate for strike one.
It's probably just an indication of it's probably if there was like experts of biology in the human body, they'd probably let me know that that's like an indication of my awful diet. I think that was in The Simpsons once, where they decided to eat vegetarian, and everyone but Lisa just came down like sicker than a dog because of it, because they were all so used to awfulness.
The second for one. On to first, it's a double play as their woes continue.
Yeah, and we knew he was in a group in the first inning, and he just kept this thing
Like
rolling
Lisa got them to
and rolling
eat
and rolling.
vegetables, and they're just like, yeah, these taste good. These are really good. And then like 2 hours later, they're all just like shaking and shivering.
Ends as a 3-0 shutout win. The Toledo Mud Hens took the lead in the fourth and held on.
Now I want to
until the
see
end. Joaquin Vargas wins his
if I
third
can
of the season.
find that.
So that just about does it for Mark DeRosa
All right,
and
season
Zach
16,
and our
episode
entire
18.
crew.
When
I'm
was
Matt
that?
Vasgersian. You've been watching MLB The Show.
2005. Hey, that's not that old of a reference. It was only about 13 years. It's better than it's sometimes been. Sometimes I do things from the mid 90s and it's like, oh boy. Tell me at least someone saw the rerun. Speaking of Iowa Foods, you see some of the new stuff the State Fair is going to have this year? I have not.
Baseball for you now.
I'm excited to know because that's actually my next vacation.
Coming to the plate.
I'm doing I guess it's a staycation, you could say. In my infinite wisdom of knowing that I wanted to take some time off,
Fellas, you take a look at these
and I was like, you know what? I hardly ever get to use my vacation time.
They came out on the
So
losing end last time out and
I decided I was gonna take whatever time I wanted off, the time I needed, and then I took like an extra week off. And I was like, you know what? August sounds like a perfect time. It'd be not too long, you know.
Push a few runs across and give this pitcher a chance to relax.
It'd be not too long after, you know, the cruise and everything, and I could just hang out instead of spending $1,500 on a cruise. Why do y'all have a butter cow? I mean, because butter is great, and it's become like a thing that's synonymous with the fair. I think one year we had a butter Sean Johnson. when she made it into the Olympics and got the gold medals and stuff, I'm pretty sure there was a Butter Sean Johnson. I wonder if you could Google that. Just Google in Butter Sean Johnson. Okay, Urban Dictionary. Awesome. Yep, there was a version of her there right next to the butter cow. The fact that there's an Urban Dictionary for this one, wow. Maybe just go to Google Images and see the picture of Butter Sean Johnson and not go to Urban Dictionary to find out the definition of Butter Sean Johnson. Oh, God. But yeah, Snickers in a waffle on a stick sounds amazing. If anyone in Iowa ever gives you shit for like an anime, bring that up. I don't see people giving you shit for like an anime. Maybe if I like brought that up at my reunion in a few weeks. It's like, oh, so what have you been doing since high school? Oh, you know, just watching anime. Making a living, streaming, watching anime. Going to the Papa Roach concert? No. I kind of stopped listening to Papa Roach a while ago. That was actually one of those things I went through like some of my old MP3s and stuff that I had downloaded. And it was just one of those things where it's like, God damn, so much new metal. I was into so much new metal. And then there's so many bands that I was into that I realized like either they peaked at that point that I listened to them, or they just, and like they're still putting out stuff but no one listens to them anymore, or they just didn't put anything out again. So like I remember seeing like oh God, what was it? Jet Black Stare was one of the big ones. Like if you remember like I think they did one of the pay-per-view songs like Ready to Roll, and that was like a big song. I was like, yeah, Jet Black Stare, Ready to Roll. And they just didn't do shit after that. Like they literally didn't release anything after that. They just disappeared off the face of the earth. I don't know if something happened or what. And I remember at that time, I think 10 years is still going pretty strong though. I haven't listened to shit they've done since probably like 2008, maybe 2009. But then at that point, it's Tanner from high school. Remember me and the guys used to give you a hard time. To be fair, I didn't watch any anime at school. I know it's a copy pasta, but it's actually kind of funny because I really wouldn't give a shit about people I'm sure there are probably some people who have a lot more like go get 'em attitude. Like the ones who had the go get 'em attitude in high school are the ones who are like planning the reunion stuff. But I'm not doing bad for myself. The Snickers in the waffle on the stick though sounds amazing. I can't wait. But yeah, usually go to the fair every year. There's a concert that night. That's usually what I do. I usually pick a night for a concert that I want to go to. I have probably seen Rev Theory. I can't even count how many times I've seen Rev Theory. Because 2008, they were like my favorite band in the whole world. And I've seen Rev Theory God knows how many times because they're just constantly touring. I'm kind of surprised they actually were still putting albums out because they were just touring all the fucking time. Milky Way and a waffle on a stick, of course. I can't wait for all the cholesterol. Of course, if I'm there, I gotta also do the turkey legs because they got these giant ass turkey legs that are amazing. How am I not breaking the bank for Randy Orton and Hawkeye Pro then? I don't know. He's signed. can't get over that. I can't get over that. Why was that highlighted for me, by the way? I think because you just put my name. You didn't even like at me as far as I see, but somehow I still got that highlighted for me. That copy pasta where Chatty was just like, hey, you should really read this. No, please read this. Like, why did you make that? Why did you make me read that, Chatty? Are you able to post links? I believe so. I don't do a whole lot of that thing called moderation. The moderation that I do is basically to just keep people from spamming and being awful human beings. And not like just the normal awful like we are in general. But like particularly awful. State Fair announced more than 50 new foods. Oh my god. I'm gonna be the fat Midwesterner who I'm gonna go on maybe a night that I don't know. Maybe I'll go on a night that there's I don't know what type of concerts are going on there. Like probably it's close enough now. They have to have. Let me see this Iowa State Fair 2018 concerts. Oh shit! Not Illinois State Fair. Iowa. Grandstand. What's going on? What type of music? What type of people can I go see? Casting Crowns. Well, I'm not Christian, so I don't particularly care. Reba. I'm kind of surprised she's still doing stuff. Daughtry. I mean, I'd be excited if it were 2010. Old Dominion, I don't think I've ever heard of them, really. Papa Roach, if it were 2008. Jim Gaffigan, if it were 2008. Thomas Rhett, Earth, Wind, and Fire. Sugarland, Peter Cetera. Florida Georgia Line is still doing shit. Why haven't they died off yet? $70? Jesus Christ. Fucking, ugh. Wow. How about no? All right, so none of those concerts really. Daughtry's about the only one, and maybe Papa Roach. I didn't see how much Papa Roach costs, but I'm pretty sure it's probably more than Daughtry. Of course. State Fair abominations from the annual State Fair videos Cinema Snobs does. Does Cinema Snob like do stuff for Iowa State Fair or just other people's state fairs? Because Iowa State Fair is like a huge fucking thing. I don't know. I got like all week. I got pretty much the whole time off to pick when I want to go. So maybe if I got like family or friends who decide to go one day, I'll do that and just eat everything. I'll just buy myself a jug of root beer from the root beer stand and just walk around. I'll practice like a fat man walk. Like I won't walk like a normal human being. I'll walk like I've got a bigger gut than I have. Because by the end of the day, I'll have that big gut. It'll just be full of fried desserts and turkey and pork. Just Wisconsin? Oh, boy. Because I was going to say, like, Iowa State Fair is, like, nationally recognized. I remember that being a thing where it was, like, places to go to, and, like, it was right behind Las Vegas. And I don't know what, maybe it was because of the people watching and the fact that there's generally a lot of stuff to eat.
Coming to the plate now.
All right, 2 for 3. Oh, look at that. Now I'm going to screw this up because I thought about it. Definitely going to eat healthy for a while, see, and I'm going to put a heart attack because of the fair. I don't think I ever go, like, all out, so maybe I'll go all out this time and find, like, some horrendous foods, and I can tweet it out. I can go there on my Twitter. I can take pictures of interesting-looking people. And pictures of like the awfulness that I put into my body. It'll be great.
He struck him out the third time he's fanned in the game.
Really
Oh, no, it's the
important
Illinois
time for a
State Fair?
strikeout there,
Oh,
guys.
okay.
Tying run at first, so objective number one
I don't know what that looks like, and I'll mute my desktop audio just so I can see kind of what other state fairs sort of look like. Oh, okay, so he was like at the state fair doing stuff. Or wait, no, okay, he was, yeah.
Gonzalez is under it, 2 gone. Striding in.
I'm just trying to mute it so I can get an idea of what these look, because he looks like, I'm hoping he's just in a secluded part of it, because it looks like there's not a ton
Comes the first pitch.
going on.
Takes a high fastball for a strike.
As a hitter
What
right
is
here,
that,
you have to
sweet
tell
potato
yourself,
chips
I
on a
can't get
stick?
too
That's
big.
amazing.
Don't let the moment get away from me. A nice bullet in the gap gets the
I
job
think
done
he
in
was
this
just
situation.
at, I don't think it was Anime Iowa. He was at Wizard World, like last month.
Now the pitch.
Yeah, I'm
There
going to
he
get
goes
picked
toward
off.
second. Pitch outside the throw. And he'll be tagged out at second.
I was just a hop too slow on that.
So a big spot here.
So they're just standing in a corner eating instead of like walking around too much. I want to see people. I want to see the sights and sounds rather than just them kind of standing in a corner. And yeah, see, that thing's hardly got people in it. Hey, damn it. I thought I was so excited for the possibility of that getting out of here. I was so excited for the possibility of it just getting going crazy. All right, I get myself another shot. What are we at? 3 for 5? All right. Let's do ball in play. I'm pretty sure I could still hit it in play, but I'm going to make sure.
Here's the first pitch. Runners off for second.
Okay. So this is the current position that I'm at. If I can hit this into the outfield, I can score the leading run here. Oh, that was a dumb idea, but I can at least get him to third.
The underhand flip will take care of him at first, but meanwhile,
I shouldn't have done that.
here with 2 away now.
As soon as I swung, I was like, that was a mistake.
So
We're still not. Oh, my God. Oh. All right, so I don't have to do too much here except just make a hit and maybe put a nice little cushion. Drop! Thank you. Potato skewer thing. I've never really seen the potato skewer thing. And again, I've never been big on like weird fair foods. Oh my! Of course, the fucking Cinderella girls have a thing about that. That's amazing. All right, now you have to bring it full circle, Jack, and find a piece of Cinderella girls artwork where one of them is made out of butter. That's the next one. All right. Well, at least we won. That's good. 4 for 7. Can't be too mad about that. That's over 500 on the day. That's a solid day. Oh, I didn't even see where we sit at that. Oh, well. Wow, 10.8 ERA in his one start so far. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about this. You could do that for your producer card. Just an idol made of butter. Punter Shizuko. Is that one of the characters? I don't think I don't recognize that name. Unless she's the cow. Does she dress like a cow? Is that the one? Because that would make all the sense in the world. You live half an hour away from the Florida State Fair. Yeah, that makes sense.
I think you get a good vibe starting to go throughout the clubhouse. You realize that the schedule is starting to wind itself down.
Oh, well, she's the cow in at least one way.
The better you play, this team's been playing some really good baseball lately.
There's something very cowish about her, yes.
So digging in now, Walter Kwan. And as you check out his
Might be
righty-lefty
sitting on her
split, no
chest.
surprise that he hits better against southpaws than he does against right-handers.
Oh.
Not
Gone.
Deep left field. That one will not be coming back. A home run.
10.8 year. Oh God, he stopped. Oh, so did you see the guy freeze in the background? That was amazing. I didn't know that happened. The dude was just frozen halfway through, like mid stride. I don't know if that was him or me.
So striding forward now, Big Daddy Dirtbag. He'll start things out in the top.
All right, how am I doing? 1 for 1? Perfect. All right, already got a solid start. Oh, damn. Maybe if I'd actually done a normal swing on that instead of contact, I might have been able to hit it out of there.
And if you look at the numbers on this team, defensively, they're in the top 5, fewest errors in the league.
So they gave the anime itch again. Gonna get you a free Crunchyroll trial again so you can watch it through PS4. I don't blame you.
Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes.
Oh, might not have been the best of ideas. Yeah, he's just going to get a hold of that, and that's going to be that there. That was all me. That was my fault. All right, let's try to keep it above 320 this time, preferably above 325, and possibly push it up. Oh yeah, I guess I didn't mention. I found out after the fact. I wish my buddy told me when I was still there at the convention. But the guy on my Twitter that I took the picture of, because I saw his picture with all the fucking ponies with their O face, and I'm like, that is horrifying, and I love it. I don't know what to think of it, but it's horrifying, and I want to keep this as a memory forever. I found out that's also the same dude who books the musical acts for the convention. I was like, what? Yeah, my buddy was like, oh yeah, he says he talks to the bands. I don't know how true it is, but he seemed to know a lot about the bands and books them. I'm like, I could have told him to bring Ladybeard in for next year. That'd be great. 1 for 5. Just one more hit would have been nice. I'd take 2 for 5 more than 1 for 5.
The game's future stars are on display as minor league baseball comes. Stepping up to the plate, Big Daddy Dirtbag.
All right.
He'll get us started in this one under the lights.
That 4 for 7 was nice, and then I kind of followed it up with kind of a shitbird. Oh, good. We're gonna start this all over again now.
On one pitch, he's retired.
Come on.
And now
Let's not do this again. I guess the scouts weren't impressed. I guess not. I don't blame them. I'll probably go through the whole. Who knows? Who knows how long I'm going to spend down here? With hits like that, a while. Like I said, I spent 4 seasons in my offline one. Like, I think I'm like 6 seasons in. I'm either 5. I might be in my 6th season now. But I spent almost 4 seasons down in AAA ball before I got called up. And even now, after a full year of technically being on the major league roster, I'm still a bench guy. I'm still a guy they just bring in once in a while if someone's hurt or if they need a designated hitter. And not even a regular one, but like an every 3 or 4 days type thing. It felt insulting. I was like, whatever. I'll just do as good as I'm doing. It'll be fine. I feel like that hour went by very slowly. I don't know. It might just be me.
Just in time, and that was awfully close.
I want to know what's going on in the background there, because that is a concert stage right there. I want to know what type of concert stage, because they don't just set that up out of like that seems like it's not like a permanent solution. Like they wouldn't just have a whole concert set up over there, just all the time.
Digging in and looking for more. Big Daddy Dirtbag. He'll try to follow up the double in his last at-bat.
New
with
pitcher.
another
We'll
big
see
hit
what we
right
can
here.
do with this
First
guy.
pitch on its way. Saws it
That
back
was
here as
dumb.
this ball's popped
Maybe I
up
can
in the
outrun
air.
it.
And the throw is
Hey!
time as he's able to reach base safely.
You know, D-Row, as a pitcher, that could be so frustrating.
Basic pitch,
trying to go out
Christian
there
Rock
and make
Pants.
quality pitches, and that was a really good pitch. And I would be willing to bet
Daughtry's going to play there, too.
that turned into an infield single.
There was a show here. There was a show coming up here that I forget who was headlining, but one of the... You're not going to... All right, I'm just going to go then. Fuck you. Don't give me any advice. I'll do it on my own. He didn't give me a stop sign or nothing. I'm just looking at the third base coach, and he's just standing there scratching his nuts. So I'm like, all right, fuck it. I'll just run.
To give your team the lead.
Yeah, no one remembers that ground ball.
So the batting order turns
But yeah,
over
there was
now.
a something coming up with a band, and yeah, I don't know who the headliner was, but one of the openers was Saving Abel. And that reminded me that that's the first time I've heard of Saving Abel since like 2009. And I'm pretty sure that that one album back then was pretty much when they peaked. And that was about it. And it turns out they were still making stuff, but no one cares. It's amazing how many nu metal bands I used to follow that were like true sort of one-hit wonders. Or maybe two. Like they had like one great album that got super duper popular. And then like they would do stuff that no one cared about afterwards. Anything. Where do we sit? We are 10 games back, but we're at least at 500, so that's pretty okay. I'll take that for right now. You don't even know what you call the music WWE constantly uses now? Yeah, I don't really know either. Because it used to be basically nu metal. Now it's kind of a whole assortment of things, so who knows? You know what? For that, I'll just maybe go somewhere else. Plate discipline, batting, clutch. That might be a good option. Oh yeah, you can do speed. Okay, it just doesn't really register anything throughout the game. You have to train it like that. Upgrading my power cap might be good. It says I'm unable to train. Oh, that's arm strength. Unable to train. Oh, durability. I should do my durability because that has been a hot button issue in my offline road to the show. It'd be nice if I don't injure myself. Yay, they're coming off of like an 8 game win streak. Can't wait.
AAA baseball for you now. Now at the plate, Big Daddy.
But yeah, I didn't know Papa Roach was still doing stuff either. Now, of course, they might not be. I mean, I guess other bands don't have to come out with new stuff, and they can just tour and rely on nostalgia.
Hey, it's almost impossible to throw a base runner out that gets a lead that big, and plus this catcher's not known for having a cannon of an arm.
I don't know if other bands do that, because every time I think that a band isn't like coming out with something new and they're just touring, they end up like kind of doing something. Like AC/DC for the longest time didn't seem to do much, and then they came out with an album even though they were touring. So I was like, okay, well, I guess they're still kind of doing it.
Digging in to try it again. Big Daddy Dirtbag. He flew out in his last at bat. He's ready. Here's the first offering.
I guess AC/DC is an even rougher one to actually talk about, seeing as who's leading it now. I have no idea why either.
A knee-high sinker, tough pitch, strike one.
Working at the state fair doesn't really count as touring thing, though. They just want one big concert usually. I mean, I guess, yeah.
You're empty here with 2 men out.
We've had some pretty big names, which is what makes me surprised that we don't have, like... Usually they have, like, a real old-school type rock band. And I would hate to think that, like, Papa Roach is considered old school now. But it's usually like an 80s or 90s band for the older folks that are always there. Maybe that's what Reba is supposed to be.
There's a slider taken for a ball.
Hey, that plate discipline working out. Can I actually get on base with a walk? Is that going to happen? Ah, oh boy, full count. And
Line drive to left.
all right, I'll take it.
That gets down, and the inning continues. So on a full count pitch, he's able to get on base and keep the inning going.
Dan, after that base hit right there.
One of these days, I'm going to force that shortstop to move a little bit more to the right, so that he can actually get it. Well, my left, his right. Papa Roach has been around since '93, so I guess technically it could be. The day's going to come where Nickelback is going to be like classic rock. I think they kind of do that now, where they play like 90s songs. They'll play like late 90s songs on like classic rock stations maybe sometimes. It's just weird to think about now. It makes me feel old. I'm used to turning on the classic rock stations and hearing like Janis Joplin and maybe Jimi Hendrix and 80s bands.
And that gets down as he can't get there in time. And the runner scores from third as they extend their lead.
Oh,
That makes
God
it a
damn it.
4-0 ball.
Dan, you were one pitch away from getting out of this. 2 outs, 2 strikes on the batter, and he's able to draw
Suffocation, no breathing, don't give a fuck. If I cut my arm bleeding, stay fair patron. This song speaks to me. Suffocate Stifle stuffed fried pickle waffle on a stick.
1 for 2 on his
I'd
line
believe
so
it.
far in the game.
I believe it being a thing.
Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to find all the fried stuff when I go to the fair at some point this year and just take pictures of it for everyone. Just inundate your Twitter timeline with horrific deep fried foods. Hey, oh, that's considered an error, isn't it? Damn it. They already consider 90s stuff classic now. Yeah.
You can see here that this one just ate him up and he couldn't recover in time.
Classic rock band The Offspring. Of course, I think they've been around for at least a little bit. Oh. I thought that was a good jump. I thought I actually had a good jump, and then he had to go and IRL stream. Oh my god. Just people watching during an IRL stream? Would that be something I could even consider? Well, you know what? I'd probably be in, I don't know if I'd do like I don't think I'm one of those people who would have like the whole like streaming backpack and stuff like that, but. And I've never done an IRL stream really. My roommate did, where he basically just reacted to internet videos that people sent him. Then again, he isn't really an internet like a big savvy internet guy, so like he doesn't watch a ton of those YouTube videos. So when you show him something that maybe he's never seen before, there's a lot of things he hasn't ever seen before. Like, someone might suggest something to me. It's like, you got to see this. This is really fucked up. And it's just like, eh.
First offering on its way. And that one stays.
Oh, yeah. The dudes that we hung out with on Friday and Saturday night, basically all weekend. And we were invited to hang out with them next year. And I guess they're going to be at NebraskaCon later this year, too. So we actually have, like, a legit plan to go there. And, it was kind of funny because he doesn't look like he's here. He's probably sleeping, but he messaged me yesterday and he was like, "Hey man, so I think we're gonna be able to get like a relatively cheap hotel room for the convention. I'm like, oh? He's like, well, okay, financially cheap, not so much bed bugs cheap. I'm like, all I need is my phone and portable. Yeah, you know what? I should. I don't know why I don't have a power bank, honestly. I used to have a solar-powered power bank. I should really have another one at this point. I'm honestly not sure why I don't have one again. I think it's because most of the time I'm usually I'm not like an outdoorsy type person, so I'm usually pretty close to a wall charger at any given time. If I really need to. Most of the time I'm not like out and about enough to like kill my phone unless I'm like near a charger. But yeah, I should really have a power bank. It would be helpful. Because there's really no excuse at this point. In 2018, like it's not even expensive anymore to get a power bank. So there's not much of an excuse left. There's not much of an excuse anymore to have your phone die on you unless you're just not prepared. I mean, you might not carry something like that everywhere, but I used to do spare batteries. That was kind of my thing, but yeah, I feel like there's just not much of an excuse left at this point to be like, yeah, I was out all day and I didn't have a way to charge my battery. It's like, well, you can probably carry something like that around. Yeah, a ton of good ones under 20 bucks. Dude, one of my friends, she had a power bank. It was like a 20,000 milliamp power bank. It was a brick, basically. And she just carried that thing around. And it had like a flashlight and stuff on it. And one of my friends is like, is that a weapon? And I'm just like, well, it is if you want it to be. It's big and thick enough. I'll take it. Comes into third now, so they're at the corners here with only one out. The difference between a power bank and a lethal weapon is ingenuity. Got one for $50. Luckily, that's $10,000 and it's a mini brick. Yeah, I feel like $20,000 would be like overkill for me, but I'd probably do $10,000 because I think my battery is like 3,500. So that'd be like 3 full charges. And that's pretty good. I got like relatively new batteries in my phone where it would probably take maybe if I did like constant streaming or something on it, it'd probably take a few hours to drain it. And I'm out. I'm doing very iffy right now. I'd like to see where I'm. By the way, they're not giving me a lot of fielding opportunities anymore. It's like they don't trust me. All right, this is my time right here. This is my time. I'm going to hit it up. I'm going to hit it up. 2 up. Damn it. Well, shit happens. Did we still win? Oh, shit. Okay. And okay, at least we progressed. At least like some progression was made. There were some things that weren't the best, but we're getting there. I think I'm too used to like being a fairly finished product at this point, and I just got to remember to like curb that. All right, is there a way to train? Yes, I need to train my durability. I just need to make sure I don't injure myself sliding into a base. And I'm officially a 70, so that's cool. This is good. This is good because I'm not dropping really, and I've improved slightly, but I'm doing better than I did last time. I kind of shat the bed when the scouts were there, but I mean, I did what I could. They'll figure out my worth soon enough. I'm very confident in that.
Coming to the plate now,
321 is nothing to sneeze at.
as he'll get his first opportunity in this one. Oh, look out.
Damn it.
Hot shot to third, and there are 2 away. Digging into his second at bat, Big Daddy Dirtbag.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I remembered something because I was sitting here trying to rack my brain. I'm like, I was talking about something about the dudes that we were hanging out. Oh, my God. I'm about to hit a double play with them. God damn it. Well, at least I got an RBI technically out of that. That could have gone so much better than it did, though. It was the second worst thing to happen besides just hitting it straight to the third baseman for a triple play.
On its way, the 0-2 pitch. Third.
Here we go.
Throw to first is
But yeah, the dudes that we were hanging out with, they ran panels. They ran, I don't think they ran any Friday night. No, they did. They did run, I think, a Friday night panel. I forget what it was. Oh, it was like it was Iron Cosplay. That's what it was. It was like Iron Chef, but with cosplay. So they had like a bunch of different like cloths and items and things like that to help make a costume with. That was interesting. Then they do like a big, like in one of the big halls, they do like a big game show thing. And then they did a late night, like 12:30 panel where it was like a trivia game trying to figure out like what you knew about Japan and Japanese stuff. So like they had different categories where it was like, oh, you know, this game show, and he was like, oh, okay, so you know, they'll show like a clip of a game show, and they'll be like, okay, no, not a clip of a game show. Yeah, they'll show a clip of like a game show or something that's about to happen, and you'll have to try to guess like what the other half was. And there was a couple times where I'm too fucking into stuff where it's stuff that I've seen before. So I'd be like sitting there going, oh, there's a guy going in for an MRI scan. What's the next thing that happens? Is he about to get stuck? Is a spider about to fall on him? Is an old woman's face about to be in the top and then they make out with her? And I'm like, that's what it is. It's the old woman because I've seen that show.
Johnny Barbado is on the bullpen in the bottom half of the 8th.
Then there was like a gif of a guy that was literally like on all fours. He had pulled down his underwear and he's like on his, it's the side angle, so you don't see anything but like one of his ass cheeks, and he's just on all fours. And it was like, okay, you know, which one of these 4 things is it? And I'm just sitting there in my head going, he's about to shoot baby powder out of his ass. I'm like, it's the stupidest shit, but somehow I just knew most of the shit that they were showing just because oh, damn it. I accidentally hit the watch game, and I'm trying to get away from that. So I've seen too much of this in my life already. Since I've gone down this particular rabbit hole, can you give me an option to? Oh man, I need an option to back away from this.
The 1-2.
I guess there's. Come on, actually, I think there's a next appearance. There we go. There we go.
Into the box now, Willie Reyes is looking for hit number 3 here.
So yeah, it was weird stuff that people are like, "Oh my God, can you believe it?" And I'm like, "Yes, I can, because I watched this show." Why? Don't ask. All the nights of being unproductive led you to being productive on one big day. It was my day to shine. I went hitless, really? Wow, I really dropped my batting clutch doing that. Yeah, all the nights of like the nights I'm not streaming, just sitting here finding random shit led me to that moment.
A hurler from South Carolina will be the starting pitcher in this one. What do you have for us on him, Danny?
Hey, this guy has a 4-pitch repertoire, right? And those are nice options to have. You can go hard, soft, you can
okay.
go in and out. And any Anytime you have 4
All
pitches,
right, I'm going to try not to swing at awful stuff. So that would be. The funniest part was there were times where afterwards when we were like hanging out that I was like, oh man, I didn't see this, this segment of thing. And I showed him a video of something. He's, oh, why did I swing at that? And I showed him a video. He's like, I'd never seen that before. It's like, oh man, he's running this panel. And I get to show him new things for next year.
Step out of the box, regroup. He'll get right back in this AB.
Lane will stay with it as he backs up and puts it away. One gone.
Okay. Oh my God, I'm down to 314. All right, we need to get back up to where we were. That's the idea here.
First pitch coming. Here it is. This one
There you go.
fired out toward
Drop,
left.
please. Oh, okay. I'll take it. I need to.
Ball's in.
Daddy needs a hit.
boy, that wasn't a very good pitch.
Daddy needs a base hit.
Balls, Zero. That slider intended to be
Big Daddy Dirtbag
up and away.
needs
That was
this.
definitely a missed spot right there, Dan. You saw the batter's eyes light up, and he didn't miss it.
Skied into straightaway right.
He's not gonna make it. Oh, it's
Play as it
what is
hops
it?
over the wall,
Ground rule
and
double.
That's a break for the defense as it's going to keep the runner from first from scoring. Digging in the switch hitter.
I wonder if they would have kept me on third if I just had kept running the whole time.
And he'll take it to the bag himself.
Hey, at least we made it.
Now in the box.
All right, we're back to where we were now, so that's helpful. I also got to play football after this. That'll be interesting.
That gets down and he's got himself a
I feel like I'll play hopefully a little bit better than I have been. We'll see what happens.
We'll see if they have a play on here with nobody out. Trying to pick things up where
What
we
time
left
is it?
off.
Is it already almost 5:30? Oh my God,
One for two to
I would have gone earlier, but I had to deal with. Oh,
gets through and he'll reach base again on his second base.
did I make it? No, I didn't. I had to sit there and hold up for a second, and then the next thing I know.
Stepping in, Willie Reyes, already 2 for 2. He'll look to add on right here.
Yeah, I had to deal with my Elgato. For some reason, it just wasn't showing a picture
Reined
where
in.
it's like, yeah, no, there's nothing. I'm like, it didn't even say there was no signal. It just didn't show anything. I'm like, well, there should be something.
So they head around here.
And it's just like I had to kind of finagle with it a little bit.
Digging in, Big Daddy Dirtbag. He's 2 for 3 thus far. Popped him up. Davis is over.
Yeah, on top of all the unproductive nights, there's also the unproductive days at work, where it's like I get my stuff done, but I get it done a little bit earlier than I need to. And then I just find stuff.
2 out here in the ninth.
I end up finding like new YouTube channels.
Throw on to second for the force, and the ball game is over. And tonight,
It was interesting. I was on like a Linus Tech Tips binge. Now I want to figure out how to build a mineral oil PC because it just looks really cool. If you've never seen a mineral oil submerged PC build, it's worth seeing. It's very interesting. It's like having a computer that looks like a fish tank. The point is to actually put like bubbles on the bottom too, as well as like aquarium rocks. So like there's a whole point to that as well. So then you just turn on the whole system and you just have bubbles coming out from the bottom like as if it's an actual tank. How does your gut out every time you plug it into your computer? You have to redo some stuff.
Hey, this guy's had a solid year up to this point. It's not an easy
Yeah, I
thing
feel
to
you.
do in baseball.
It's not that bad though. I like the fact that the old Elgatos still seem to work through just about anything. That's helpful. I'm guessing if I had like one of the HD 60s, like one of the big new slim ones, I probably wouldn't have to be doing this in like 32-bit OBS, but it's not that bad. Wow, 316 is still far and away one of the best. So it's amazing how disappointed I am in myself and my batting ability, but it's still the best on the team by a decent margin.
He's ready. Here's the first offering. Left side, but well fouled.
But yeah, I'm just. I also wanted to try to like build. Oh, what was it? I wanted to build as well, like some sort of budget computer build. I don't even need another computer realistically.
He still might be looking for that release point.
But my next computer could be a submerged mineral oil build if I want.
Behind his ear instead of out front. We'll see if he finds that pitch because it'll be important for him.
Oof.
Pitch is a curveball that misses ball two.
Pretty sure you have the HD60.
That curveball is a pitch you have to
Riff,
get on
bruise
top
bones,
of,
riff,
or else
hit
it'll take
groundouts,
off just
riff.
like that one
Oh.
did.
I was like, what? Pretty sure you have the HD60. Yeah, if it's the slimmer one that has the lights like on top, like the 7 lights or so, then that's the HD60.
And they'll have no play.
I have the old one that still has like an S video input. If I were so inclined to use that.
So striding in, Marshall Smith. He got called out on strikes his last time through.
No, that was not good. I'm so out.
Ball's there, and he is out.
I'm so out.
So he turned to the slide step that time, and
I don't know what I was doing there. I was so late. I should have just waited. There was such a gap in time right there.
Into the box, Big Daddy Dirtbag.
Damn it.
First pitch coming, here it is. That's
There you go.
the other way out to left. And that'll get down for a base hit.
I'll take it. I will take it.
Boy, this is just
Probably
a case of
gonna
another really good
do.
hit.
I don't know.
Finding
I'll probably
a way
finish out
to
this
keep him over
series
with a
and then
soft
call
wire.
it good.
Finding a way
Get to right about an hour and a half. I won't do anything past that because I'll still want to do at least a couple of games because I think I just did like the last time. I want to have a couple in there, so I have a little bit of something in a few days to bring in. I really should have. I really could have gone to third if I wanted to.
Now with 2 away.
I didn't expect them to try to throw it to first for some reason.
Right there. Getting a single on a 3-2 pitch in the middle of the zone. Grab your glove and flash the
HD60,
left.
unfortunately, you don't use it too much nowadays. You can't stream anything other than TEW thanks to your internet. Probably just need to do it right now. That sucks, man. Oh, there's already a guy on third, so it wouldn't have mattered. And that's probably where he was throwing it, was home.
And that's in there, base hit.
Yeah, see?
And not in time as the run
Hey, got it there.
Not every ball's gonna be hit
I didn't
on the
even see that
smooth
there was a
right
guy
there.
on
That one
third.
falls in front of the right fielder for a single, found some green grass.
Thank God I didn't decide to run to third. I considered it. I didn't even see that.
So here's the cleanup.
I don't know what that. I don't know what that.
1 for 2 with a double on
It's
his
that
line thus far.
Cedar Rapids internet.
Third,
I have
Smith
no
on
idea.
second. Soto
Mediacom, maybe?
first with 2
I
down.
hate Mediacom.
Hit on the ground to third. Fielded cleanly.
Oh,
Second for the
damn.
force out, and the side is retired.
Moving up to Cedar Falls soon.
But it could have been
Oh,
much
okay.
worse as they strand the
That
bases
might
loaded.
help. I mean, it's a college town, so
The fifth, the Mudheads
maybe.
are on top. Digging in once again, Roger Cardano. The third.
You doing it for like school or
To first, and there were
just switching jobs or something? Mediacom, your partner building wiring. That's from the 70s. It's called. Oh yeah, that's right.
So a pivotal moment
You just
here, and
subscribed.
playing in now, Big Daddy Dirtbag.
Oh, see, it's not going to be on the main
Representing
thing, so I'm
possible
going to
go-ahead
open
run.
this up, and it's going to be like, yeah, you don't get to see. You didn't just subscribe. Just said it was.
He's
Oh,
ready
to my
for his first
YouTube.
offering. Oh, this is hit to third. Will it be 2? The second
I was
to
like,
one.
what?
On to first, and that's the very last thing they needed at this point in the ball game.
Yeah, that was actually when I was like picking out apartments. I actually it was kind of a funny thing because when I pick out apartments now, I have one tab open on the apartments that I'm looking at to potentially rent out, and one tab. Oh my God, is that already it? Yeah, I guess I could probably end it there. End it just a little bit earlier than an hour and a half, so then I can squeeze in a couple of games. But yeah, I have like one tab open on that and like one tab open to check the speeds of the internet connections. Because there was one time where I was looking up a nice 1 bedroom. There was like, it looks pretty decent. It's like $510 a month, so it's probably infested with rats or something. I think it was actually a studio or something like that. I'm like, but you know what? $510 a month is $510 a month. And then I saw like the internet, and I put in the address, and it was like, get up to 3 megabits per second. I'm like, that's horrendous. How is that still a thing? How are we allowed? How is that allowed right now to still do that? That shouldn't be a thing. Friends go to school up there, needs a roommate. Oh, okay. Yeah, overwrite it. Why not? Cool. Well, there we go. It'd be a little bit better if I did a little bit nicer. I guess I'm not going to complain too much. 320, so we did slightly above what we were the last time. I think actually I might not have all the equipment that I want right now. That's right, I don't, because I have a gold bat and I think everything else I have. So I think that'll be fine. I think I just needed to get the gold bat. I need to get like a fielding glove, perhaps, or something else that might help with my batting. Bat grips. Maybe like a gold or silver bat grip if I can get a hold of one. There, now I'll need to resave that. Might help me out just a hair. Let's see if that did in the player comparisons. Okay, up to +7. That's cool. That's cool. 23 megabits per second upload. Well, aren't you the shit? Aren't you amazing? You and your fucking Floridian internet. Because you're not in the middle of a flyover state. Jake Payne. They don't care about us in the Midwest. 144 download. I think I could get better if I went through Mediacom, but fuck them. They have data caps. I don't need data caps. Me and my roommate we would do well to not have data caps. You're not even getting 3 megabits per second download. Ugh. I feel bad about that. There we go. I will call it good here then, at least on this portion. I do want to play some NCAA football after this, though. So if you're on stream, you can prepare for that. If you're watching this on YouTube, though, thank you very much for continuing to watch. I greatly appreciate you continuing to watch it. I know it's kind of slow going, but hey, that just tells me I'm going to have to continue doing this. And then, of course, the carrying over from year to year might help with that as well. So, hey, I'll be able to continue this throughout new games because of that, and maybe in future games I can make it to the MLB. It's not. Look at that. Look at the hot and cold zones. I got like the one lone cold zone that I just haven't turned into a hot zone yet. And then there's other hot zones that are just like baking hot. I can only imagine being a AAA pitcher and just having that strike zone pop up in front of you where you're just like, well, shit, I'm fucked, aren't I? All right. Well, there you go. Thank you very much. And I will see you